Hi, are you a school district that back in the 90s bought a bunch of iMac G3s? Now it's the new millennia and your kids need a G4. But don't get an iMac, they're too expensive, they're too fragile. Today I have the news for you, the new eMac G4 starting at just $9.99. Get in touch with your Apple sales rep today to bring your school into the future. Here in April 2022, we're enjoying a rare treat for us Mac nerds, an entirely new desktop. Before the Mac Studio, which is very good by the way, we've had the iMac Pro, the Mac Mini, and of course a couple of different attempts at the new Mac Pro. But 20 years ago, there was another, the eMac. In 2002, the iMac G4 was basically brand new, and while there was technically still an iMac G3 for sale, Apple had wanted to do something new for its education customers that had purchased so many iMacs over the previous few years. Those customers weren't thrilled with the new iMac's higher price point and the beautiful but honestly probably too fragile for use in schools design. The eMac was the answer. Like the iMac G3, it was an all-in-one, now built around a larger 17-inch CRT. While the recipe was the same, all the ingredients were upgraded. At the heart of the machine was a G4, making bundled applications like iPhoto, iMovie, and iTunes fly. I/O was also improved with a total of 5 USB ports and 2 FireWire ports. Now the whole thing was wrapped in a new white plastic enclosure, complete with a large fan that wasn't present in the iMac it replaced. Up front was a tray-loading optical drive flanked by a set of speakers, but gone were the headphone jacks that adorned the front of the iMac. Look, there's a lot of similarities between these machines. Clearly the design was cut from the same chunky cloth. The eMac came with Apple's updated white keyboard and Pro mouse and could be used with an optional $49 clear acrylic stand. This let you lift the eMac up off the desk a little bit, and it provided tilt and swivel adjustment. If you thought Apple making you pay for a more adjustable screen was new, it's not. The 50-pound eMac itself started at just $9.99, and honestly, it seemed to check all the boxes it needed to for Apple's education customers. In fact, people beyond schools were interested, so in June of 2002, Apple announced that the eMac would be available to all customers, not just those buying for schools. Here's a Steve Jobs quote from the press release. "Customers have pounded on the table, demanding to buy the eMac, and we agree. The eMac's production ramp is ahead of schedule, thanks Tim Cook, so we'll have enough eMacs this quarter to satisfy both our education and non-education customers." Now, when considering this machine, you may be tempted to think that Apple would be content to let the models age, but the company actually upgraded the eMac several times. There were 5 generations of eMac over just 3 years. The machine got faster CPUs, going from 700 MHz in the first model, eventually topping out with a 1.42 GHz G4. Likewise, the eMac's GPU improved over the years, and the machine even ended up with USB 2.0. Fancy stuff. Now at the same time, Apple was able to bring the starting price down to $799, some $600 cheaper than an entry-level iMac G4. In the fall of 2005, Apple pulled the plug on the eMac. At this point, the iMac G5 had been out for a year, and it was clear the time had come for CRT-based Macs to go away. So that's the story of the eMac. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below if you used one or maybe you had some at your school like I did. Kind of a weird, interesting machine. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to get subscribed to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.